Welcome to another episode of the Presale Pulse Live, a channel that is dedicated to helping you understand everything happening in the real estate marketplace across Metro Vancouver and the Fraser Valley. And today, we're talking about the Fraser Valley. I'm Ryan Lalonde, President and Partner of MLA Canada, and I'm joined by the Queen of the Fraser Valley, Brittany Reimer.
Very kind of you, the Queen. The Queen. I like to think I'm the Queen of my household too, but...
It's great to have you on the show.
Thanks. Love being here. The Queen. Love being here.
So if you're new to the channel, the Presale Pulse is all about recapping both the presale and the resale marketplace over the past 30 days. Our goal is just to ensure that all of our subscribers feel like they have their finger on the pulse and become real estate intelligent. Now, Brittany, we have a full episode today. Why don't you break it down what we're talking about?
As always, an exciting episode ahead for us. We're going to talk resale momentum. Another busy month, over 3,000 transactions in the Fraser Valley. We're going to chat about April presale projects, upcoming projects to look out for. And lastly, we'll highlight another month of record-breaking sale prices.
Another month.
Another month.
It is a broken record.
It feels like it is a broken record. I mean, I start to feel bad at some point here, talking about all the records that we keep breaking, but there's no sign of things slowing down, and it's the reality of the market that we're in right now.
Right. Well, before we jump into the market data, why don't we talk projects? We know that that's a really important topic. So many of our users and subscribers have shared, hey, we want to learn more about project data. So today we're going to dive deep on some projects, both some of the past successes and some of the ones that we're keeping a close eye on. I think where we should start is Jericho. 66 units. This is located in Willoughby, of course, built by Redicop. Half of the project, over 50%, is made up of one bedrooms. These are priced from the low 300s to 400s. We know that that's sharp pricing. We know that that's also one of the most active price bands within the marketplace. Over 80% of the units sold in the month of April. Again, no surprise there given where the price points are coming in at. The pricing estimates somewhere in the neighborhood of $630 price per square foot. That's based off of MLA's advisories, reverse engineering the revenue model. From our perspective, that seems like a very fair price for the marketplace, although it does seem from the rate of absorption that there's probably a little bit of room for those prices to escalate in that marketplace. But big numbers nonetheless for wood frame.
Right, based off what you said, it seems like our prediction that the Langley market for 2021 on the condo side is going to be hot. Momentum is building. We know there's a number of other projects that are about to come to market as well. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. And would it even be a Fraser Valley 2021 Pulse if we didn't talk about Latimer Heights at all? I don't think we could actually have an episode without talking about it. So we're going to, and this time the news is the presentation center is closing. They're gearing up over the next 12 months for a 2-tower launch, something to watch out for. And we're going to have our MLA spotlight over the next couple weeks here, and we're going to highlight a little bit more about what's coming up in the Langley market.
Yeah, I have to admit I'm really excited for that spotlight. That's a deep dive on the Langley marketplace. We've had so many subscribers and many of our development partners and actual prospects, home buyers participating in our programs ask what is happening in the parts of the Fraser Valley. Langley is the most sought after from a data perspective. So we're excited to dive deep and keep an eye out for that. Also a really good reason why you should hit that subscribe button right now. This puts you front of line for that content. Make sure that you really are keeping up to date with the marketplace as it moves very, very quick.
Absolutely. And also notable, Foundry by Miracon, townhomes selling 50% since sales started back in April. They had advertised 2-bedroom homes starting at $699, which we know 12 months ago, those homes were closer to that $550 mark. So that price point has gone up about 20% in the last 12 months. But really awesome balance between country meets city with this project, continuing that farmhouse trend in Langley that has been so appealing and popular for buyers in this market. And kudos to the Miracon team for another great program and successful launch. Yeah,
agreed. I think they've done a fantastic job of positioning on that program, and also really excited to see finishing just really resonate with those home buyers.
Absolutely.
Ascent, I think that we have to touch on Maple Leaf Homes' most recent program. It's a 31-story offering. Obviously built, the developer recently part of Delta Gardens. After weeks of realtor previews, the building approximately 90% sold out. Incredible success story. Feels like a year ago, we would have been so excited to have a 30% sellout, 30 days after a targeted launch. Today, we're seeing those numbers back to where they were, pre-2017. Following the grand opening weekend, there was something less than like 15 homes available. Some of that great data, of course, being prepared by the MLA advisory team. Big purchaser and agent incentives were a big part of their strategy. $10,000 for 1 bedrooms, $15,000 for 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms, and then of course a 15% total deposit structure. That makes it incredibly enticing for transitioning buyers and first-time home buyers. I feel like it also wouldn't be a pre-sale pulse in the Fraser Valley if we weren't talking PCI and King George.
Yeah, absolutely. After releasing Plaza 1 in November 2020, PCI is bringing another tower, King George Plaza 2, to market this spring. This phase was not necessarily on anybody's radar, so really speaks to the pace of this market and the developers' eagerness to release new product and new inventory in Surrey. This building is 41 stories, and we expect that sales will begin in May. Expect another big, heavy investor and first-time buyer presence in this tower.
Next up, Tien Share. Right, Q5, another big success coming out of the Fraser Valley. A very, very strong level of interest. We know that they had a one-day sale program. This was planned initially for May 1st. They moved it up to April 24th. All the homes under contract same day. Lots of publicity on this project. Very tight unit mix. The majority of the studios under 350 square feet. 1 bedrooms under 500 square feet. So very, very tight product mix. Very much focused on an end user, first-time home buyer or an investor. Attractive starting price points as well. Mid 250,000s. That's remarkable for any marketplace in the Lower Mainland right now. And also, I think, tough to be on the pulse of this hot market right now because projects are selling out so fast. The moment that they're released to the public, we're doing our very best to make sure that we're understanding where is their inches in this marketplace. In projects like this, there's so much speculation on buyer pool, right? What is the real price per square foot of an offering like this? What could it have achieved if we saw a more protracted sales program over a longer period of time? And I think that those are some of the things that many of us are wondering about as you start to see one-day sellout programs with this many homes being moved in less than 24 hours.
Absolutely. And when we think about wood frame product, there's not a lot of wood frame product out there anywhere right now in the marketplace. So there really is no surprise that they were successful. Rental revenues on wood frame very comparable to concrete product, and you're getting it at a discounted price from a price per square foot perspective. It makes sense. Why don't we chat about Mission? It's been a long time since we chatted further east of Langley, and I'm excited to share some updates with regards to Ren and Raven by Elevate Development. Final 70 units of this 2-phase development by Elevate were released over the past 30 days. This project is nearly sold out already. Their junior 1-beds were starting in the 200s, their 2-beds starting from the 400s. Again, finding low-rise wood frame product at this price point is very rare in the Lower Mainland. So no surprise that we're seeing investors and first-time buyers jumping into this Mission opportunity. Our MLA advisory team has placed this blended price per square foot just above $560. A small 4-bed homes really contributing to this high blend on price per square foot, but really strong number for Mission, and really excited to see what this does for momentum in Mission over the next couple months here. We know that other communities are coming to this market. We're keeping a very close eye on Polygons, Archer, which is really exciting, and we're excited to be able to continue to report back on Mission.
You have to think about north of $550 a square foot in Mission. Just 6 months ago, that would have been the number that we would have thought would be potentially out of reach in parts of Langley. Right, and so when we think about some of the benchmark price point appreciations that we're going to talk about resale in just a few moments, it's not surprising that we're now pressing in secondary markets like Mission the way that we are.
For sure, and I mean, people underestimate Mission, right? Like, you've got great views there, you have the West Coast Express access, infrastructure is coming, retail is coming, you've got mom and pop shops. I think there is a big appeal to especially locals that live in that marketplace who want to stay there.
Maybe that's a good segue into the resale stats. Britt, why don't you start off? Let's talk benchmark.
Let's talk about it. It's hard to repeat what happened in March in the resale market. There is no doubt about that. We saw record-breaking sales numbers. But with that said, we still had another solid month with 3,016 total resales in April. It was down 9% from March, but still up 338% above where April 2020 was, which just shows how far this market has come in a 12-month span. The supply tap finally turned on in April. So we saw a 20% increase in inventory. So sellers started to jump back into the market. This is really, really important because what it did was it provided less multiple offer situations. Buyers were actually able to get into that detached market, and it balanced the average sale price for the month of April.
And Brent, I think that's a really good segue into our next section. Let's talk demand for affordable product. Now, we know that the Fraser Valley has been a hotbed of market activity. We've repeated that over and over on the Pulse. Composite benchmark price is up a staggering 20.1% over the past year. And here's what's really surprising. It's up 13.4% in the past 3 months. That is an incredible rate of appreciation. I think, Britt, we have to ask ourselves, with that type of rate, where would you expect benchmark to go? And the composite benchmark price has increased for 11 straight months now as we enter into April of 2021. And the most notable thought, the critical moment that we should all be paying attention to is that the composite benchmark price has now passed $1 million. Yeah. This is the first time on record that we have seen that threshold passed in the Fraser Valley.
Absolutely. And I mean, we just chatted about, new listings coming onto the market. And the real question is, for the detached market, will this stabilize, right? Will more sellers start to come onto the market? It's a spring market. We know this is a popular and opportunistic time for people to actually put their homes on the market. So this will be a number to watch over the next 30 days to really see how that shakes out as the inventory starts to creep up. Let's talk about sales to listing ratios. Very similar story to the Greater Vancouver market, hovering around 50% for sales to listings for the month of April. There were noticeable decreases in absorptions compared to March, most notably for townhomes, which had previously recorded 2 consecutive months of triple-digit sales to listing ratios. Notable highlights were detached sales dropped 11% month over month. Condo sales dropped 14% month over month, and townhome sales only dropped 3% month over month. So really strong months still.
So Brittany, further to your share, we're seeing more supply come onto the marketplace. It is at higher price points than where we previously were, but the point is that homebuyers have 2 benefits that are afforded to them today that they didn't necessarily have 2 months ago. One is wider inventory, so home selection. The second is time, right? Without the multiple offers, typically what we see as a result of lower multiple offers is the opportunity for subject periods, and from that means being able to purchase a home at a more comfortable pace to make sure that it's really aligned with what your family's needs are. So our expectation is that while the market has somewhat pulled back from the highs of March, it's actually a really exciting time frame to be considering both Fraser Valley resale and Fraser Valley presale. I feel like that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
As always, we're going to say thank you so much for tuning in. Click those links below because all of the incredible data that's been prepared by the MLA advisory team is available in more detail in the links below. Want to also recommend that you hit that like button and of course subscribe. That's going to put you front of line for the newsletter, which is a daily rundown of everything that's hot and trending in our marketplace. It's also going to give you access to the monthly presale pulse, some great annual and quarterly data, and as you would expect, it's going to put you front of line for the projects that you want to participate in as we roll them out. Unless there's anything else that you have to add?
No. Thanks for coming out to the Valley.
Looking forward to seeing you next time.